Hey guys, what is up? Schlappy here. Happy Tuesday. I don't think people say that. The elytra are see-through now. Apparently that wasn't always the case. Whatever. But anyway, welcome back. And let's take a quick look at something while we chat here. So there's a new pathway here. You don't have to go through this weird one anymore. Little pathway. This wasn't me. And if you follow it down, you'll see what I did do. So me and Walden got together and played a little bit, and he made this pathway and this bridge. Now we actually have a way over here, which is nice. And let's check out what happened. So the slime farm is still sliming. We finally have an access shaft to see the inside of the slime farm. See, Walden told me that he had decorated the entire inside of the slime farm, and I was like, that's a lot of work, man. But there's no way to actually get down there. So he built a way down, and now we can actually see the inside of the slime farm, which looks really good. He actually did it all in stone brick, and it looks phenomenal. It looks really amazing. But yeah, so let's do that back up. So that's the slime farm, which is loaded when we're in our chorus fruit farm, which is great because that means we can kind of multitask. So nobody's ever really in this area. Like this far side of spawn to actually have these chunks loaded. Everyone's sort of on the other side. But anywho, let's take a look at the chorus fruit farm, which when me and Wall were playing together, we actually just took the time and finished it. So here it is. You could already kind of see it. We wanted to use only the new blocks, only the end blocks. That was kind of my plan. I wanted to use purpur and the end stone brick, and it looks really good. So let's just look at it. It took a while. So we got end rods lighting the whole place. No torches anywhere. Luckily, these end rods are really cheap to make. A blaze rod and a piece of end stone, I think. And it makes 4 of them, which is phenomenal. So we got magenta glass, which matches really nicely with the purpur. And you know, we just did it. You know, this is the pillar block, which I think looks really ugly as a pillar. But it looks nice as a path, I think. And these... I don't like this 4 square texture. I'm not going to lie, the bricks. But that's the end of the pillar. So there's kind of a pattern that goes around the whole place, the roof and everything. And it just looks really good. And the end stone brick goes around, and it's really bright. It kind of reminds me of like a fairy tale kingdom. Like, it's just over the top, but that's exactly what I wanted. And it's working well. I just harvested it. This stuff grows really fast, but it works well. We made it 4 long. It's not an overly efficient farm, but it's cool. We have these looking out areas, which I think are pretty neat. And Mike here gets a huge stable. Look at all this room. He gets to hang out, check out the farm, wander around. Mike is living the high life. We used some magenta wool in corner pieces where we couldn't use the pillar. And then the only other thing was the magenta glass in the floor to brighten it up, because there were some dark spots just because the pattern didn't really work. But yeah, we got a little storage room and some, smelting so you can make the... you can smelt the purpur, or no, you can smelt whatever this stuff called when it falls, the chorus fruit. Come down here and pick it up. Eventually I might make it so there's a water system that funnels it and, brings it over here. But I don't feel like doing redstone today because I have no iron. But yeah, this place is looking real good. This place is looking real good. A big thank you to Walden for helping, decorate it. We got to clean up a little bit, and I also want to put in a path to get over here because there's no path. No path, and it does look kind of inconspicuous, which I like. Eventually, I do want to put in a 3x3 redstone door so you can't see inside. But again, that's got to do another time. And my frames are back. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put in this path real fast, and then we'll move on to whatever we do today. Alright, so I did a little bit of things and stuff and whatever. So let's take Mike and check it out. I'm not done taking stuff and moving these chests. I guess I'll take what I can. We have 25 furnaces in here. Seems excessive, but anywho, so I did the path a little bit. So the pathway, I wanted to have it some blocks that sort of outlined what it was. So I put some end stone, which kind of matches the sand, and some purpur, so And yeah, I also extended it this way. I figure at some point we'll probably go that way, just because we're kind of expanding everywhere during spawn. So I wanted to make the path, kind of naturally. It's kind of a free-flowing thing. I put some slime blocks in the ground, sort of near the slime farm and near the hatch, so people kind of know what it is. And, I made the pathway all the way over to here. the sort of falling apart from the ruins over there kind of continue across, so it's all good. But there's a kind of a pathway now. I don't know if people wanted a pathway. I think it looks pretty good. And I kind of made it come in through here. I might have to go get some dark oak or spruce, or I think this is dark oak, and maybe do a little bit more smooth transition. But I think it looks good. At least we got a path down, and that's awesome to do. And oh boy. Okay. So yeah, I want to show you guys the other thing I was doing sort of in the past hour I've been playing. I went on a big gravel hunt, got about 5 stacks, and pretty much spent it all doing that. I maybe have like a quarter of a stack left. It was nuts. I also was kind of in here and I was reorganizing, so I kind of got a plan. I got all the woods here. I got to get some acacia. I got acacia saplings, I thought. But yeah, so this is the type of wood, so we got kind of leaves and saplings in the bottom chest, planks in the middle, and the logs on top for the storage area. I've started to organize it. So the block in front is what it contains. We got 2 for cobble, 1 for stone and stone brick. Dirt, and then these, polished down low, and then the used up high. Why don't we put it in as we go? Let's get rid of this stuff. And I've been putting, yeah. And so, yeah, andesite, granite. It's a pretty basic system. I was going to put item frames, but I don't know if they still cause lag. I know they used to cause a lot of lag just because they render a little funny. So I'm trying to limit how many item frames I have. So I thought, this works pretty well. We're going to have snow down here. I got to clean it. Ice, and then packed ice on top of that. So it's not like storage for diamonds and things. It's more storage for... Because it's community storage, it's like the basic things, if you need some packed ice and you're in spawn, you can come grab some, and then it's sort of, replace it when you have time, is kind of the idea here. So I think that's pretty cool. I've been moving over some stuff. I don't really care if people use this stuff. I've got a ton of it, and so yeah, that's what I've been doing. And this one's probably going to be gravel, so I guess I can do that right now. Yeah, gravel's kind of at a premium because we're using it for the paths around spawn. So it's kind of a pain. We need a food chest somewhere. I think this one's going to be not hostile mob drops, non-hostile friendly mobs. But yeah, so that's sort of what I've been doing here, and then we're going to have some random drop chests and stuff. I've also created a little hidden area for my own personal storage in this area, but I'm not going to show you guys where it is, so... Yep. And then the fences will go in here. So like plank, stairs, that sort of thing. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, that probably was really loud. It sounded like I had a seagull for a second. So I'm over here. I finished the pathway, and I'll show you guys in a second. But I was over here sort of organizing for a bit while I waited for stuff to smelt, and I kind of got an organization system I like. So I was going to use item frames, but then I realized I don't know if they still cause lag, and I don't want to be a cause of lag, so I'm trying to limit how many I use. So this is like snow materials. So we got ice, that's going to be packed ice. This is going to be snow. And the idea here, because it's community storage, this area, it's sort of items that, people can come and grab real fast and then replace, when they have time. It's sort of the idea because it's a community thing. So basically the item that is in the floor in front of that chest is what's in the chest. So we got cobble over here, cobble, and stone brick, and then for the wood, basically the bottom is saplings and leaves. Above that is planks, stairs, whatever else, and then logs on top. I don't have any acacia at the moment. And, like these, there's polished on the bottom and then the non-polished on top. And basically that's what I'm going to do. And then sort of the more specific items, I'm going to have item frames, but I'm trying to limit those just because of lag. But let's go take a peek at the pathway real fast before we move on to the final thing I kind of want to get started today. So Mike is a lifesaver here. Sorry for the brief moment of down to 21 frames. Back up. Okay. Just a little spot. So here's the tunnel over to the purpur farm, the chorus fruit farm, the purpur blocks, whatever. So I've been putting in the gravel to make the path sort of, work a little bit smoother. Here's the tunnel Walden built, and then there's a bridge. I've just been putting gravel sort of down. I don't think I like this right now, but I've been putting gravel down. So if we come over here, you can see the gravel kind of comes off the bridge, and then it's sort of free flowing. I wanted to follow kind of the contour of the lake so there's more room for stuff, and it just looks nicer. I put some slime blocks in the pathway over to this. I thought it looked kind of nice. And then it continues on this way. This is where you get into the slime farm that I showed earlier. So I put some slime blocks there. It branches off that way. I imagine stuff will expand that way. So I kind of wanted to make that easy to figure out. And then if you kind of continue along here, the pathway starts to get in some purpur and some endstone. And I think it looks nice. And then you kind of come up and you can get in. And boom, you're in. And that's pretty cool. So I've been just sort of transporting items while I've been building this because we got chests of garbage everywhere. So I gotta, keep doing this, but it shouldn't be too hard. It's just more or less traveling back and forth. But there's one last thing I kind of want to get started on right now, sort of before we do anything else. No, before we end today's thing. There was one else thing. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna cut over to it. All right, guys. The last thing I want to do, I actually had something else planned, but I want to just clarify some things in the nether. We got confused in here earlier, so I just want to put some kind of markers to where stuff is. So this way up, I think everyone could figure out that's the gold farm. But this way is the mesa and a witch hut, which in Friday's episode, me and Walden take a swing at. Me and Walden got, we were playing actually a little bit earlier. Kirok was on too, which was pretty cool. But we're going to be doing a witch hut thing. So I want to clarify where stuff is. So the mesa is here, which I'm going to mark a little better. I just want to make sure everything is clearly, marked, just because I get lost in here and I'm in here a lot. And you know what? It's just one of those things where it's like, it's so easy to do, but nobody's done it yet. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens. No big deal. So let's just mark this. That should kind of looks like the entrance to a McDonald's, but you know what I mean? So I'm going to do this real fast and I'll show you guys kind of the completed thing. Alright, so I didn't do a huge amount, but like enough that I think it's clear now. I just put signs. I moved this ladder sort of out of the way so it was easier to see, because this is the tunnel I think that I was getting confused at. So the Mesa and Witch Hut, obviously once there's more of a nether hub it'll be easier, but I think that makes it a little bit easier. Gold farm up, I just moved this to the wall. I think that makes it a little bit easier, you can kind of just see it, and then I put signs sort of Mesa, and then I put one that says Witch Hut that way, just so if you get lost, it's a little bit easier. But basically, that's all I'm going to do this week. Friday, I'm going to be doing the Witch Hut, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited for it. So until then, I'll catch you guys later. Like, comment, sub, all that good stuff, and ciao.